Close your eyes and imagine you are hiking through a thick jungle. You use a sharp machete to cut away the vines and leaves blocking your path. You step through deep mud and cross a busy stream, then cut through another wall of trees until you've reached the clearing and you see it. The tallest stone pyramid you've ever seen. You gaze up in wonder at its size and move toward it, touching the intricate carvings in the stone. From the symbols, you know you've discovered a temple of one of the greatest civilizations of the ancient world, the Mayan Empire. Who were these indigenous people? How did they build these gigantic pyramids? And what caused their advanced civilization to suddenly disappear? Where did the Mayans go? The earliest Mayan villages started in 1800 BC, almost 4,000 years ago. They lived in what is now the region of Mexico and Central America, which includes countries like Guatemala and Belize, also called Mesoamerica. The climate there is tropical, which means it's filled with dense jungles and is very wet, like a rainforest. The Mayans were very skilled farmers and grew corn, beans, and squash. This allowed their communities to grow larger. Over the next 2,000 years, the Mayan civilization slowly began to grow further into the highlands of Mesoamerica. 250 AD to 900 AD is also called the Golden Age of the Mayan Empire. Golden Age means it was their best years as they grew and expanded and became more advanced. The Mayan Empire included over 40 cities, and each city included anywhere from 5,000 to 50,000 people, totaling over 2 million, which is huge for a civilization at that time. In their largest cities, like Tikal, the Mayans built gigantic buildings of stone. Some of these were temples. Others were palaces and plazas, where the city people met together to buy and sell and hold sporting events. Their favorite sport was a game called ulama, where the players bounced a rubber ball back and forth across the court. Ulama was very tricky, because they weren't allowed to use their hands or feet, but instead used their knees and hips and other body parts to hit the ball. The step pyramid-shaped temples that towered over the city were magnificent, and many of them are still standing today. The Mayans worshipped different gods, and priests offered up food like corn to stay on the god's good side. The Mayans were also gifted artists. They decorated their pyramids and other stone buildings with beautiful pictures and hieroglyphics. Hieroglyphics are symbols that represent words. They also liked to make jewelry using shells from the ocean and bright green feathers from the quetzal bird. They were also very skilled at math, which they used to build their temples, and also astronomy, which means studying the stars. They created a very advanced calendar using their knowledge of the stars, which mapped out the 365 days of the year. By the end of the Golden Age, something began to change in the Mayan civilization that slowly caused their power and influence to slow down. Over the next 100 years, their cities became smaller, and there were less people, and the population declined. No one knows for sure what happened to the Mayan Empire. Some archaeologists think it was because they had used up all of the land and their other precious resources. Others think there may have been a drought, which means there wasn't enough water, which people must have to survive. There may also have been fighting between the different families, which caused the downfall of the Mayans. There's a lesson here for us, that we have to take care of our own precious resources, our water, our trees, and the land that we have to be sure it's used properly and not wasted. By 1830, archaeologists began to discover the Mayan civilizations, their vast cities and fantastic temples of stone. Since that time, their empire has been investigated and studied, so we're fortunate to know much about these incredible people today. The ancestors of the Mayans are the people which now live in that area, the people of Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, and other countries in Central America. If you ever visit this area, be sure to take the time to visit the ruins of the Mayan people. I've been there once and it was an amazing sight to behold. Hi, I'm Breck, creator of the Bedtime History channel and podcast. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out our podcasts on Apple Podcasts or your favorite podcast app. Thanks.